MJ Ferrantino, the real MJF, says to us, he says, if I could grant you guys one wish, what would it be, right? So he says, make us Undisputed World Tag Team Champions. And do you know what he says back? He says, okay.
Now we asked him for that, cause Ace and me, we've come to know the Originals to be our #1 nemesis tag team. John and Guy are the stones in our shoes that need removing.
So there's gonna be vandalism in Washington, D.C. tonight. One of the greatest feats of wanton destruction the wrestling world's ever seen. And Originals, we're coming to get those belts, boys. So kiss that spotless record goodbye.
You got no idea how sick we are of the Vandal brothers always trying to ruin what the Originals got going. How long those old dogs been chasing us, Guy?
What, 15 years now? I lost count, Johnny, but the face-bang freak's been around a long time. That's for damn sure. And they're coming at us again.
When you guys gonna learn the lesson? You brush apes can't beat the Originals on your best day, one that includes a shower. Well, Guy, looks like we'll just have to kick some Vandal ass all over again. Since Jay and Ace can't get it through their face-painted puppet heads that we're leaving the building Undisputed World Tag Team Champions. Same as always.
That's for damn sure. Same as always.
And we send them back to cosplaying at Comic Cons. Jay and Ace, be there or be square. Same bad time, same bad channel, motherfuckers.
When you think of rivalries, you think of the Hatfields, the McCoys, the North and South Side mobs in the 20s, and the Originals and the Vandal brothers. Jay and Ace challenging John Van and Guy Cormier for the RWL Undisputed World Tag Team Championships right now.
Oh boy, is this great! Tex, behave yourself.
And here he is, the man who apparently grants wishes to the Vandal brothers, MJ Ferrantino, making good on his promise to get Jay and Ace an opportunity for the Undisputed World Tag Team Champions. Not their first, certainly not their last. The last time these two clashed was at Halloween Brawl last year, and that was for the titles, and as you can see, the Originals are still Undisputed World Tag Team Champions, something that MJ Ferrantino and the Vandal brothers hope to rectify this evening.
The rivalry between these two teams goes back to their earliest days in RWL around 2012, when there was a third Vandal brother, Deadly Duke Vandal, all under the management of Boyd Bradford of the then notorious Bradford Exchange. Ironic how Ferrantino ended up inheriting Bradford Exchange talents like Hostel and Dr. Zodiac as well. And he sure has made major improvements with every team in his fairly vast stable.
That's exactly why I trust him with the Texas Hangman, and well, you see how well Killer and Sacco have been doing under MJ Ferrantino, the real MJF, the John F. Kennedy of managers. He is definitely making vast improvements, and I think he's going to have himself an opportunity tonight to get some tag team gold for the Vandal brothers.
It's wild how I never really stopped to think about just how long the Vandals have been around, and how many tag teams they've faced and beaten down. It's kinda scary, but their tag team body count's almost as long as John and Guy's.
And speaking of John and Guy, here they are. The Staten Island Crippler Guy Cormier, the Chicago Hammer John Van, and Sylvia Strong for her third appearance this evening, and she is just grooving to the music. Oh, it's always a party when the Originals come to town. I absolutely love this entrance, love this music, just love everything about it. I'm sure Mr. Bianco here would certainly have something to say about this thing.
Sylvia's always doing her part, but the obvious real story behind the Originals rests with the amazing partnership between John Van and Guy Cormier, literally thrown together randomly in late 2012, and they took to tag team brawling like ducks to water. About 4 months later, enter fledgling manager Sylvia Strong, who needed a tag team and chose the Originals. And the rest is tag team history. The fans call them the team that's whipped the world 3 times, and it sometimes doesn't seem like hype.
So many tag teams have come and gone since the O's teamed up, and John and Guy have literally beaten them all. Hondo and Ramula before them, Chief Sam White Boone and Cowboy Bob Deakins, the fathers of Best of the West, the Redneck Riot Squad. And no, not even Masked Incorporated Tex could stand up to the Originals when they locked horns back in the day. But the Vandal brothers have always been on the heels of the Originals through all those years. And I guess this is one of those forevermore rivalries that you see every so often in pro wrestling.
You hit the nail right on the head, Wally. a forever war. That's what it's going to be between the Originals and the Vandals.
And so John Van and Guy Cormier face a situation which they have faced countless times in the past, time without number, putting the undisputed World Tag Team titles on the line against a challenger they faced before.
This next match for the RWL Undisputed World Tag Team Championships. One fall, 20-minute time limit. First, the manager, MJ Ferrantino, and the challengers from Vandalsburg, Pennsylvania, at a combined weight of 666 pounds. 1J, Vicious Ace, the Vandal Brothers, and with manageress Sylvia Strong, at a combined weight of 525 pounds. From Chicago, Illinois, the Chicago Hammer John Van, and from Staten Island, New York, the Crippler Guy Cormier, the undisputed World Tag Team Champions, the Originals.
We've had some terrific tag teams come through RWL over the years, but the Originals, they just topped them all. Yes, sir, there have been some great tag teams in RWL and continue to be. Oh, this is going to be good. It's going to be Wanton J and Guy Cormier starting this off. The bell sounds. Swing and a miss from Jay. Needed the midsection for Guy. He's got him up. And there's the fly swatter. Going for a quick cover here at one. I can see there's going to be a lot of near falls in this one. Elbow from Guy Cormier. Rebound off the ropes. Flying punch takes down Wanton J. Vandal. Guy Cormier right on him before he can stand himself up. Kick to the face. Well, the championship match, the Originals always play for real. Elbows to the midsection from Wanton J. Vandal. A hard right. Locks up Cormier. Cormier countering with shots. Whoa, exchanging some serious shots here. A kick from Guy Cormier. Another kick, a right, a left. And another set of knees to the midsection for J. Vandal. Guy rounds him up again. Taking Jay to the Originals corner. Here's the tag. Here comes the Chicago Hammer John Van. The double team. A back body drop. And the Chicago Hammer John Van takes over. Rounds up Jay Vandal again. These two tag teams. Whoa! Flying punch. Takes Jay Vandal down again. John, quick for the cover, but not even a one. And Ace Vandal would have been there to spoil the play anyhow. Speaking of Ace Vandal, he just caught a forearm from John. A wrist clutch kick to the face for Wanton J. The Chicago Hammer John Van really applying the pain to Wanton J. Vandal. MJ Ferrantino looking on. Whole lot riding on this for his stable. And the Vandals. John Van rounds him up. Wanton J. Vandal looks like he's going back to the Originals town. He counters. Cheap shot from Guy Cormier. John Van goes behind. Whip to the ropes. Hard shot to the midsection. John Van. Wrist clutch clothesline. And J. Vandal having his problems with the Chicago Hammer here. Off the middle rope, cross body. John Van covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Nope. No dice. Yeah, this one looks like it's going to be a long dog. John Van rounds up Jay Vandal. Has him up. Whoa, just spun him and dropped him. John Van looking like he's pretty fired up. Whoa, here's the claw. That's what he was setting up for. And this claw, oh man, they usually win the matches that way. But Ace Vandal, look at this. Wow, Ace Vandal not able to break it up. Jay has to do it himself. Jay Vandal, needed the midsection. Counter kick from John Van. Running kick that takes down Jay again. He's spending a lot of time on his back. Guy Cormier moves in. Ace Vandal moves in. Look at this. Guy Cormier quickly rounds up Ace Vandal. Just slams him face down. Wow. John Van switching it off again. Sylvia Strong watching her number one money spinners doing their thing. Ace Vandal catches a double axe handle. And here comes Guy Cormier again. The Originals just having themselves a party with the tag thing. There's another claw for Ace Vandal this time. MJ Ferrantino looking seriously concerned. This could be it right here. Ace Vandal managing to get to one knee. Hard shot to the gut. A second one separates them. Misses with the jumping neck breaker. Spinning kick. Takes him down. Here's a cover. 1, 2, 3, and we're done.
The time was for minutes and 23 seconds. Your winners and still are WL Undisputed World Tag Team Champions, the Originals.
4 minutes and 23 to do. Well, Johnny, seems like the Originals and the Stronghold want to get to that after party just a little bit early. Man, John and Guy wrapping this one up quick, retaining the RWL Undisputed World Tag Team Champions. Wow. The Originals really are something else, ain't they?
Indeed. John Vandal and Guy Cormier wrapping this match up with the Vandal brothers with a certain degree of alacrity and retaining, as you say, the Undisputed World Tag titles and Sylvia Strong. And the Originals and the Stronghold as a whole will be celebrating tonight. More Global War when we return.